This baby is fresh. Look at that. Somebody meant business on this tree. Another one. Another one right here. Right behind it. 5 steps away. Alright guys. I just had a big ass black bear chasing a fucking deer down through here. And apparently some guys shot the deer. And I'm looking for the deer. I can hear him running through, 30, 40 yards from me. And I can hear more than one. And the first one was like kind of blind to me. And I'm looking, waiting for it to come up over the hill. And it's a freaking black bear. I mean, it had to have been 500-600 pounds. It was a big boy. I don't know if he seen me or not, but he kept on running, and I never saw the deer. So I'm wondering if it's still laying here somewhere, or if it kept running. I imagine it kept running, but that was wild. And I didn't have my helmet camera on. I guess I left it at camp this morning. So, I don't know. That was really cool. But I had the rifle trained on the bear the whole time, and I never even saw what it was chasing. I just assumed it was a baby bear that was running with it, and then a truck pulled up down the road behind me, and ended up they were chasing a deer. They shot a deer back this way somewhere, and I've never seen somebody chase a deer like that before. But they've been at it for the last half hour, but it was pretty cool. So I just walked down here to see if there was a deer laying. But I'm going to post up here for the rest of the day. It's almost lunchtime. So just figure I'd share that. It was really cool. So I decided to walk down the mountain and see if I could find whatever that bear was chasing. And I didn't see anything. I didn't even see a blood trail, nothing. So I perched up, sat there, like I said, for about 30 minutes. And as far as you can see down there, I was at the bottom, kind of going up the other side. I see these 2 deer on top of the mountain, and they're like silhouetted in black. So I waited, and I knew my cousin was up on top of that ridge, but way further down. So I waited and waited and waited. I fire, and not 3 seconds later, he fires. And we got both our deer pretty much same time. His first deer, I shot this big one here, and he shot the little one to the right. It's funny because I gave him the big one and I took the little one. This will be one heck of a hunt story. At least the bear part. Take a break?
Yep, take a break for a minute. That would have been nice to see the bear.
He came, alright, I was up there where that plastic bag is. He came over right here, ran down. I was hoping to get a picture of his paw in the creek, but he went right over it. It happened so fast I didn't even get scared. I had my gun on him the whole time. I was like, holy crap. And I mean, he was running like front paw, back paw, like both front paws the same, kind of like you would imagine an animal doing. That's the first time I've ever seen that before.
Somebody must have scared him.
He was chasing the deer.
Oh, he was chasing a deer.
Yeah, the deer that them guys are looking for. You guys were talking about some guys looking everywhere for a deer. Maybe it was.
They shot a deer on that other side. Shot at one anyway.
Right. Well, these guys were running all over back here looking for it. I said, just so you know, that thing's a bear just ran right through here.
And if it's gut shot, they ain't gonna find it anyway.
Yeah.
And
I never even saw the fucking deer, but I heard the light sound of the deer, and by the time I heard it, it sounded like it was going down that way. And I heard the bear, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm looking, and man, it came up over the hill, and my eyes were probably bigger than the scope. It was crazy. I ain't never in my life.
They were on the other side across from me. They shot. And then a little bit later, I heard them coming through the woods, coming down off that hill over there.
Yeah.
They were coming down, then they stopped, and they started talking. It was a woman and a man.
Right.
And it sounded like she was saying, I don't know which way it went.
Oh. That made the trip worth it.
Oh, yeah.
I told myself earlier, I said, I don't even need to see a deer anymore.
That's it. Remember what I told you about deer? Big ones? What'd I tell you?
Shoot him running to the truck.
If it ain't running to the truck, that motherfucker's gonna run behind me. I was telling him last night in New York, we had some good times up in New York. You know, I probably shot about 150-pound doe.
Oh my gosh.
That was big.
You got a monster.
And we were about a mile away from the truck in the woods. And Ronnie come over. I shot it. It come down out of the hill, and I forgot to tell you there was a cow pasture up there. But anyway, it come down in the woods out of the hill, and it come down to me, and I only had the head shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I shot it. It fucking dropped, and it was moving, just like them cows over here.
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie come booking down the fucking path. He said, "What'd you shoot?" I said, "Man, it was big and black and white." And I said, he's like, "Oh, please tell me you didn't shoot a cow. Please tell me you didn't shoot a cow." I said, "It's humongous. It's laying over there."
Biggest deer I ever saw.
Well, at this time, it's still moving. And he's like, "Oh my God, you shot a goddamn cow." So he walks over to it and looks down the hill, and about that time it died, stopped moving.
Right.
And he looked at it, he says, "Oh," he said, "that's a big deer." I said, "Yeah, it is." He says, "All right, give me all your shit. I'm going to take it back to the truck, and then we'll come back and drag it out." I said, "All right." I'm going to, I'll drag this motherfucker out myself. I tied it.
Killed yourself.
Up. I got it about 300 yards, and I laid down on a fucking stump.
Yeah.
Fucking, he come back, him, Mr. Ron, and his Uncle Gary come back. And I'm laying on the freaking stump. They're like, "What the fuck you doing?" I said, "Man, I just drugged this motherfucker 300 yards. They said, "Well, you got about another 900 yards to go."